One, two.
That one works. Okay. I'll go out. Play the slideshow. Oh, you did. Oh, you did a solo. Lost about half speed. I know during the reception. By the time we get back to the reception, it's going to be a site. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm just waiting for a wave to say that we are able to continue. Reg, do I have that wave? We're ready to go? All right. Thank you for your patience, everyone. You have stories that nobody else has. We're just a little bit out of order in terms of the order of service, which is fine. But where we will begin right now is the open mic, and followed by the photo story, and then the conclusion with the casket proceeding down the aisle. So if there is anyone here who has a memory they would like to share, feel free to come to the mic or stand just where you are in your outdoor voice, share your tribute, your memory.
It's me, Grandma, and my loud voice. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Bruce's daughter. Carol's brother. Aunt Carol was a force and a strong woman. She fought through every inch at all she had. I look at my cousins with gratitude. I'm gracious for the memories that I was given and the family that was built. We had so many memories. I spent almost every second weekend of my entire life with the Rennehans. We've spent the last few days going over crazy memories and all the things that occurred. But the one moment I said that stood out the most, and I pray I say this as well as my brother, was one day Aunt Carol got stuck with all us kids. It's 5 kids in this tiny van, and we were going to the Trans-Canada water slides for the day. And you would never believe what day it was. It was her birthday. And lo and behold, loads us all into the van. We're heading down the back road, almost to Castle Fun Park, and off go the sirens. Aunt Carol was getting pulled over. She rolls down the window, does the regular thing, and looks at the cop and says, "It's my birthday." The cop looks inside the van, takes everything with him, goes back to the car. We're thinking, we're gonna get away with it. We've gotta. No. He comes back, gives her the ticket, and says, "Happy birthday." I don't think there's a memory more clear of how hard she tried to talk out of that ticket. But I feel like it described her so perfectly. I recently was given an article from a friend's mom from a brain cancer patient. She spoke strongly about saying that when we speak about cancer, we often say that people have lost their battle. But she said the truth is, don't say that ever. With time, we each make the transition of passing, but everyone's time is different. She notes that in life, we need to figure out if we're running towards life or if we're running away from death. How fitting, as Carol's quote was, to live like you're dying. A comedian also recently shared about the realization that as time goes, our fear grows. We're first living as overbooked, little sleep, experiencing everything we can in life, being told that we're living by the seat of our pants. But as we age, fear sets in and we don't let our dreams come true. But as we can see, Carol did not let that stop her. I think a lesson here is don't let your fear fuel your choices. Be bold like Carol and live fearlessly. Live your life. I told Matthew yesterday that I could truly picture Carol standing in the back of this room, looking at each and every one of us, smiling, and knowing that the impact she left behind was so gracious. I hope you rest peacefully.
Thank you.
Was walking her dog, and even when she was quite sick, I would stop and says, "What are you doing?" She says, "A girl got to exercise." And I said, "You're right." But those are just some of the very special memories I do have living beside Chuck and Carol for the last 30-odd years. I was thinking, what might I say today? I was thinking this. I think Carol would want us to mourn well. And it doesn't mean we don't live life to the full, but that we embrace the pain of grief. And that's all right too. And so I share that with the family, and I share that with you, that the loss of people we love creates a sense of pain in our hearts. And it's okay to lean into the pain. I have learned, I happen to be a pastor, and I wish I could say I get paid by the words, but I don't. But I've learned that in order for us to truly receive the comfort of a God who loves us, it necessitates that you and I become vulnerable. And when we mourn, when we grieve, we become vulnerable. And in being vulnerable, God extends his arm of comfort and strength. So that's one first part of mourning well. Allow yourself the vulnerability of pain, of grief. The second part is to what we're doing today. Gather the memories of the one we love and laugh a little, cry a little. That's all right too. I've always been impressed with this John 11 when Jesus heard that his friend had died, and we may have a lot of theological explanations for this, but this is one profound, profound concept. Jesus wept. It's all right to weep. It's all right to have the downtime and to feel the pain and to cry a little. And knowing Carol, if she knows what you're crying about, she would cry with you. But it's also okay to laugh a little. And let some of those special memories, like not getting out of getting a ticket. I know about that, Carol. I've gotten out of some, but some I didn't, even with my very pleasant face. You know, let those memories make you laugh. And then finally, what my brother alluded to today, make sure you surround yourself with a family of friends. But will you hear this? A place of faith. A place to lean into and recognize that our source of support comes from outside of ourselves. Carol believed, like myself, that this comes from the very person of Jesus Christ, because God so loved us. But the faith. And so when we say there abides faith, hope, and love, the faith fuels our hope and our belief that we will see Carol again. And because of God's love, we do this as we wait wisely to see her again by loving each other and by living life that ultimately our life presents glory not only to our Creator, but harmony among our friends. As we grieve Carol, rest in the assurance that our amazing God of comfort will avail himself with outstretched arms to give you the strength and the comfort you need. He will cry with you, but he'll also joy with you in the memories you hold of her. God bless you.
Thank you, Carol. I was just going to call you by name, but seeing as you're so anxious, that's good too.
I'm like, if I don't get up, it's not going to happen, so.
All right, next one, be ready.
I'm going to have to adjust this, shockingly. Oh, that's better. Hello, everybody. I sang, I'm not sure if you know, but I did sing. I met the Rennehan family in 2019 at the Rockin' River Country Music Festival. And that year I was planning on going with friends, and nobody could go with me, so I said, well, I'll just go anyways. I'm pretty independent anyways, but I had some pretty cool neighbors. Before I left, my family are not campers, so I don't really know how to put a tent together or anything, and I went over it with my mom a few times, and I'm like, yeah, I know how to do a tent now. And no, not really. So I got there, and I couldn't do anything, and then Matt comes by and says, would you like some help? And I said, yes, please, help me. And that's how I got to know the Rennehan family. And they invited me over for drinks, and they fed me, and they were just wonderful people. And I couldn't have lucked out better. And it was really, really nice. And I haven't known the Rennehan family for 20 years, but I've known them a few years, and I know that they're beautiful people, and that I'm thankful for that they're my friends. And When I got to see Carol in the hospital just a few times, I told her that I would love to sing for you and your family on your service when the time comes. As morbid as that was, but I really wanted to say it before I, forgot or didn't get the chance to. And she said, "Oh, Benji, that would be really nice." She liked to call me Benji, and I love that. Yeah, so that's how I got to know my family, and I'm very thankful I got to know Carol. I just wish it was longer, but I'm thankful for that. Yeah, that's it.
That's mine.
Okay.
Thank you. Would somebody this tall like to be next? Just about.
Yeah, just about. Can you hear me? We're good? Okay. Well, leading up to today, and this is looking at the family, and Ryan in specific, and Shay Shay and Matthew. Okay, come on down here. How's that? Better? Did you know that hours, days before this event, I was stressing as to what lipstick I had to wear? Anybody in the house here knew her through Mary Kay? Put your hands up. That's pretty special. Even in her bad days or her worst days, she still looked good. Even to the very bitter end, she still looked great. We met her together 33 years ago when our little Michaela and little Rai Rai were in the womb, would you believe it, through a prenatal class. And that's how long we've known her and how much of a blessing that family has been with us as well too. We moved up to the Okanagan, but that did not end our friendship. They would also come up every summer and hang out with us and enjoy that time. I've still got a picture of us all going down that big river channel. I don't know whether anyone's been to Penticton, the river channel between Skaha Lake and Lake Okanagan. There's a big channel there. And we would pack up the kids and put them in their little dinghies and their rowboats, and we would float down this crazy channel together and just laugh and laugh. She loved to laugh. And I remember her sister, there you are, right there. Even today, when you giggled, we said, yeah, that must be the sister right there, because she loved to laugh. We moved to Hope several years ago, and that was the news that we had, that she'd become sick. And I vowed that I would walk with her, and I'm here today to say that I failed. My life got busy, and the journey became very long. And I'm here to say that I asked the family to forgive me, that I wasn't there all the time for her. But I want to let you know that I'm here today. And if you just get on that highway and you get to the Mount Hope, we're at the blue and white house. And the coffee pot is always there. It's always on. We love you. We thank you that we're here today together to support you from going into the new journey together. The last words in the hospital that we shared when I went to go see her, and Chuck texted and said, "You better go now." I don't know what I was doing, but I got into my car and I just drove down the highway and praying and saying, "Lord, this is just so strange. I'm losing my friend." And we spent about 3 hours together that night. The nurses were coming and going, and at the very end of our time together, she says, "Bren, I'm just so scared." She says, "Would you pray for me?" I said, "Absolutely." She says, "I'm just afraid that I'm not going to be going to this place called heaven. I want to go there, and I want my family there, and I want my kids there." And I said, "Okay, let's make sure that we pray." And we did, and we just said, "Lord, come into my life. This is not, take my sins away. Take my sins away, Lord, and we're going to be seeing you in heaven." And we said the salvation prayer. And yes, these days are going to be lonely and sad, and there's going to be triggers that are going to peace that I have, that when my time comes, as we all will, that I'm going to be able to go to see my friend and rejoice with her. We miss you, Carol. We will love you. We're going to be here to support the family. Thank you for this time.
Thank you. Is there someone else?
Hello. I just wanted to share that Carol was a good friend of mine for almost 30 years. Her and my son were good friends and went to school together. I'm going to miss Carol. She was very strong and courageous, even to the end. And just going to say that about 2 weeks before she passed, because we went to Hawaii after, so I couldn't really see her close to the end, but I went to visit her, and a few times at the hospital, and just the last time I visited her, well, we prayed together a few times before when I visited her, and the last time we prayed together, and she was holding my hand, and then she said, "Can you sing Amazing Grace for me?" And we sang it together. And then we sang How Great Thou Art, and we were both crying together. And she loved the Lord, and she loved God, and we know she's there with him. And she was a strong woman. She always loved God, and she always wanted to be close to him. So I just want to thank you and thank the family for being our friends. Thank you.
Last call. Ah.
Well, I'm going to kind of wing this here. I had no idea I was going to come up and speak. I was lucky enough to meet the Rennehan family 29 years ago. Ryan and I went to Open Door Daycare Preschool together, and we developed a lifelong friendship back then. And it progressed through the years, and Carol always opened the doors with a warm heart, and she fed us. And Ryan and I got in all sorts of trouble when we were kids, and I remember her driving us around to deliver our papers if we were late for our paper route, or she loved to barbecue chicken. That was her go-to. She'd walk out in the backyard and barbecue chicken, and she'd feed everybody in the neighborhood. And because Ryan and I were pretty good at bringing the entire neighborhood. She's always been, we've always had this thing with Ryan and I is Ryan calls my mom his second mom, and Carol's always been my second mom. I remember far enough back that I remember when Matthew was this tall, and I remember when Carol came home from the hospital with a car seat and a little pink blanket. It was Shailene. Carol was a wonderful woman, and I'm pretty sure I went on a couple of those trips to the Trans-Canada water slides in the old green Ford Windstar. She left us way too young, but she left a mark on a lot of us, and we'll always miss her.
over that tall. Hi, I'm Terry Begman, and our family has been, oh boy, our family has been friends with the Rennehans for over 20 years. Carol was the strongest, most beautiful person I've ever met. The last good time that we had was this summer. And we were camping, of course. We did a lot of camping together. And Carol and I were floating in Skaha Lake on our floaties, just hugging each other and floating and crying. And she told me that she was scared and that she didn't want to leave. But she knew that that time was coming. And I told her that that would be my fondest memory of her, just having that special moment together. She was a hero to me. I don't know anyone who fought so hard to stay because she loved her family so much. But now she's in heaven and she's at peace. And just know that she loved all of you so much. And she's so proud of all of you. And I will miss her until the end of time. And I will miss all of the camping and the dancing and the singing and the concerts and all of the fun that we had, the crazy boat trips with our children, flying behind the boat where my husband was driving like a madman. And just, I will miss her forever. And I hope, Carol, that you rest in peace. You were the most wonderful friend for over 20 years, and I love you.
Hi. Hi, I'm Terry's daughter. I met the Rennehans when I was 7. Shailene and I became very quick friends, and our families clicked very quickly. Even while my mom was pregnant with my younger sister. We met them camping, as my mom was saying, and for years, this was before Facebook, actually, so keeping up with people wasn't as easy. But somehow we would go camping at the same time, and we kept meeting up, and they were always there. And Carol was really, she was the life of the party. She was wonderful. My whole life, I looked up to her. She always checked in on me, always made sure that, you know, even if I hadn't talked to her in a while, or, you know, always checked in. That was just, she cared. She loved everyone so much. And she always made sure that she made time for everybody, even though she was a very busy lady. And I remember, I think one that'll stick with me forever, my 16th birthday, my mom took me to take my L, and I failed the first try. But she showed up when I took my L test that day, and she included me in something that she had told me about, and I got a little pendant for my 16th birthday that I will forever cherish. And she encouraged me, because I said, oh, I can't take this test again. We all know how that goes, right? And she said, no, you can do it. You can do it. And so I went back about a week later, a week and a half, and I passed, and she was one of the first people that we called. And now, as an adult with my own family, the love that she not only showed me, but to my children, she would be so proud of her kids moving forward. Matt and Carlene, you guys moving forward. carrying on that, just know she's so proud of you, and she always spoke so highly of her children. She loved you guys so much, and her heart was very big. She was a mom to so many people, and I think one of my favorite things, and last thing I'll say here, is I won't ever forget her macaroni and cheese. That was a favorite. But Carol, we know that you're at peace. You're not in any more pain. And like my mom was saying, I hope you're floating down a nice river with the sun on your back. And hey, today your favorite weather's out. It's sunny out. It's bright. It's beautiful, just as you are and always will be. Thank you.
Remembered by so many in tributes, let's now remember Carol in a photo story. The moment is very still. The moment now draws to an end. And I think we share the weight of those final moments. On the pews, every few of them, there's a beautiful arrangement of flowers. And to those who might like to have one, you are invited to take one. In just a moment, Dina is going to sing How Great Thou Art. The funeral director will come forward and invite the pallbearers to take their positions by the casket. I will ask you to stand as they move Carol's casket down the aisle. You may follow them out into the parking lot. It is Chuck's wishes that everyone be present when Carol's casket is placed into the hearse. Barry? Yeah.
Wait, those two doors open. Yeah.